Internet Studios World Headquarters in Spring, Texas, it's Barry on Deck, hosted by former ESPN Houston radio host and stand-up comedian Barry Laminack, starring Oliver the Cat. Written by Barry Laminack, produced by Barry Laminack, directed by, you guessed it, Barry Laminack, featuring sports, entertainment, special guests, film sessions, and some drinking. Okay, a lot of drinking. Viewer discretion is advised. And now, here's your host, Barry Laminack.
I'll be honest, I don't even give a shit. If I wasn't contractually obligated to be here, I'd have just shut all this shit down, went to the couch. Oh, fuck off. Fuck that song. I legit would have just shut all of this down. And just called it a day. And your jokes about you can't hear me now. I don't think you guys understand. I don't think you guys understand the amount of stress that causes me. I don't think you understand the amount of stress that the tech issues cause me. And then when you guys pile on, sometimes it's funny. Sometimes, though, it's not. Boy, it would just be so much easier. It would just be so much, life would be so much better if it was just get up, go to the radio, come home. Let them worry about all of it. Let them fuck with the tech problems. And hey, I'm just here doing my job. I don't have to worry about all this. I don't have to worry about if we have a show today and make $5, get my paycheck, and I'm good. So no, your jokes are amazing. Thank you so much for continuing to joke about my misery. It's different when it's, a little incident. I forgot to unmute. But when it derails a show completely, and you guys just pile on. And I get it. There's no ill intent or hate. But man. This is literally like, I don't know. When this show doesn't go well, when this show doesn't work and doesn't happen, like it's an issue. It's a problem. You know, I'm just going to close the chat for right now. I don't need to see the bullshit right now. I can't. I wish more. I'm not trying to be a pity party here. I was in a fucking great mood. I really think, I'm going to say this. John Westling's not here. I think John Westling's shirts that he makes are bad luck. Let's evaluate this for a second. And you guys can tell him. I'll tell him tonight on Sports Right. But every shirt that John has made for a team has shit to bed. Please don't send any super chats. Please don't send any. This is just me going to be emo and mad and a pity party for a little bit. If you don't want to watch it, that's cool. You should all just bounce. I'll see you tomorrow. But I think John Westling's shirts are bad luck. I really do. So, John, every shirt he's made so far, that I've seen him be like, look, I made an Astro shirt, and then they lost like 8 of 9. And then he's like, look, I made an A&M shirt, and then they lost like 2 or 3 in a row. And then I wear that shirt, and this show goes to shit. He made like a LSU shirt, they're shitting the bed. I think it's John Westling. He's a jinx. His shirts are a jinx. He made, what other shirt did he make? I remember as soon as he made his shirt, like one team was like doing great and then lost. I don't remember who it was, but I'm blaming this all on John Wessling and the fact that I have bad luck. Just that what was I doing allowing myself to be in a good mood? I don't know what I was thinking there. Boy. So, we have to do a show for the next hour and a half. And I'll be honest with you, I don't give a fuck at this point. It is, and I'm not trying to be Mr. Pity Party, but I really don't think you guys understand the amount of stress, the amount of what's the word? Pressure? Not pressure. I don't even know. I just don't even know. I don't know. Because I know you guys have fun with it, and you should. But man, it's defeating. Like I said, I've always been honest with you guys when I do this show. I've always been honest with you and told you guys. I've never hidden. Like a lot of people that do stuff like this in the public, they'll be like, well, I'll just go on and pretend like nothing's happening. And then I don't fucking do that. Never done that. I didn't do that on radio and I don't do that now. It is fucking defeating. When stuff like that happens. And it's exhausting because you just want to, it feels like, and I know that it doesn't happen. I mean, it happens probably more than it should, especially being a one-man show. I feel like if there was producers, at least I'd have somebody to blame. At least they would be able to figure it out while I do the show. That's not the case. It is not the case at all. Yeah, I don't really know how to, I don't know how to, imagine going to do your job. I don't understand that joke, Barry Cully. I don't understand that joke. But imagine going to do your job. You're the only one doing your job, and then shit fucks up. And then while it fucks up, you got, I don't know, not everybody, but maybe 15 people fucking with you while it's fucked up. No. I would say I chose this, but I didn't choose this. This is just this is just where we're at. You know, streaming, being a fucking streamer. Okay, is it supposed to rain today? I don't think it's supposed to rain today. It's getting dark out there. Yeah, this is, I'm telling you, I don't even give a fuck. Let's just talk sports. We'll just do a show and fuck it. Let me get my slides ready. Well, I promised CC we would do NFL first, so let's do that. And then we'll, because I do want to talk playoffs. National League. No, is it American League tonight? I think it's American League. I got to go back and look at the schedule. Yeah, I want to say it's the AL wild card is tonight. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I remember we scheduled it so that it wasn't conflicting if the Astros somehow stumbled into having to be in the wild card. Hey, truck driver Pookie, thank you for the super chat. He said we're rocking with you no matter what, homie. Time for a shot. No, that's when it all fell apart. Shot time. But I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate that very much. Let's see. I just got another one there. Let's see. Josh, where you at? Josh, thank you, buddy. Appreciate that. He said it's good to see our heroes have problems just like we do. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, no, that's good. I'm glad you get to see my problems. I don't wish that all of you problems were public. Fucking, not that, I don't think there's 6 billion people in Houston watching this right now. But a couple hundred might, and then we'll laugh at my pain. Here's my slides for the day. Let's get these over here. So let's talk a little football. So I didn't really make like slides for the week 4 recap, but I promised CC. What's up, Harpy? I promised CC we would talk Cowboys first because we didn't get to NFL yesterday. We spent the first hour of the show talking about Carlos Correa and the Astros and what their next steps were. So if you missed it, if you want my thoughts on it, if you value my sports knowledge at all on baseball, which is probably my strongest of the sport. So if you're looking for the best content, it's baseball. Other than that, but I think we need to talk about these Cowboys for a second, simply because, you're starting to hear more and more people, I wouldn't say jump on the bandwagon, but acknowledging the fact that the Cowboys, both offensively and defensively, are playing pretty well. I think you'd like to see the points per game come down some, giving up roughly 24 a game, which is middle of the pack in the NFL right now. Significant improvement over what it was. That rush defense is legit. Giving up 81 a game, that's stout. And when you have an offense like the Cowboys have and a rush defense like the Cowboys have, it's scary for the rest of the NFL. I mean, we always knew that the offense was good. And I wanted to see offensively, what are they scoring per game? Cowboys are the 4th highest scoring offense in the NFL at 31.5 a game, just behind the Cardinals, the Bills, and the Chiefs. Now, defensively, they're giving up 24 a game, but if you're scoring 31, guess what? That's wins. Those are wins. 31 beats 24. That's how you be a good football team. Micah Parsons, that is correct, BZH. Brian said that rookie they got is legit. Micah Parsons is the truth, but Trevin Diggs, Ermagerd, did I just see where he has an interception in every game so far this year? 4 in a row. Diggs and Parsons, and look, their pass defense isn't great. It is, let's see where they rank. Pass defense for the Cowboys, pretty bad. 315 yards a game. Now, let's evaluate that for a second, because the Cowboy haters might look at that and go, see, yeah, that secondary sucks. Well, now hold on. Let's think about this for a second. If you are always out front, if you have commanding leads in a game, teams are going to have to pass the ball, which may also be why their run defense looks a little better, only giving up 81 a game. In fact, let's go look at the schedule real quick, because that might be a little misleading that their rush total is so low at 81 a game, and their pass total is so high at 315. Because if you jump out to a lead, teams are going to have to throw the ball to come back on you. Okay, so Dallas, no. All right, so that Chargers game that they won 20-17, it was close most of the game. Pretty accurate there. That Eagles game, they get out to a 20-7 lead in the first half, put up another 21 in the second half. Eagles playing from behind the entire time. So definitely in that game, having to throw the ball quite a bit just to play catch up. And then that Panthers game, which they beat a good Panthers team. Actually trailing by a point at half, put up 20 in the third, which means, yeah, the Panthers are going to have to, in the fourth quarter, throw the ball around a little bit, which is going to put some stress on that secondary. drive the runs, drive the rush yards down and pass attempts up. So it kind of plays out like that. That Bucs game, they didn't really get out to a lead. They were behind at half and made it a close one at the end. I think, though, when you watch this team, you see, one, that they believe in each other. And I think with Diggs playing the way he plays and Parsons playing the way he plays, and I think that this team believes in itself. I saw, forget what's his name. It was on Scott Van Pelt last night while I was making merch, but somebody said that the defense is playing great because of the defensive coordinator. Offense is playing great because they're basically winning and playing well in spite of Mike McCarthy, who was a terrible coach. I feel like that's a little unfair. I mean, his job is to put the OCs in place and manage the game and manage them correctly. Do I think McCarthy's a great coach? No. But he sure was, talented in Green Bay. Now, granted, you have Aaron Rodgers. That's going to make you look better than you are. I think that Walt just said in the chat, someone said they're a Super Bowl team. I think that they are right now. And this is, listen, and I don't want to be assholes to the Cowboy fan, but we know these seasons can flip. Ask Chargers fans. I mean, just watching that Chargers game last night when they got up big on the Raiders in the first half, and then the Raiders come out and you start to see them making a comeback, and you're like, oh, shit. Chargers fans have seen this movie before in games and in seasons. They just seem to be snake bit, always losing by a last-second field goal or something. Didn't happen last night. Justin Herbert is a different animal. That's a scary football team as well. But, so hold on, Dandy Dan. So Dandy Dan says Super Bowl's a stretch, playoffs for sure. And then Walt said someone said Cowboys are like a Super Bowl team. When you have to look at it in a vacuum. You can't look at this and say, oh, well, let's evaluate if they're a Super Bowl team. One, they're in a pretty bad division. I don't think the Eagles, Washington, or the Giants, and a lot of people even thought the Cowboys were. I mean, that was the worst division in football last year, and that includes the AFC South. But they're in a pretty bad division, and they should be able to beat the teams in their division. So that's going to bode well for their record. When you look at the NFC in general, the teams that give you the biggest fits, one, obviously the only undefeated team left is the Arizona Cardinals. The Rams are really good. Tampa is really good. I'm not sold on Carolina. Dallas just beat them. It's tough for me to wrap my mind around the fact that Sam Darnold and the Carolina Panthers might actually be a good football team. However, they're playing like it. And they're going to get Christian McCaffrey back. They're 3-1 and basically been playing without him. So you look at Green Bay, the upper echelon of the NFC. This is who we're talking about making it to the NFC Championship game and eventually the Super Bowl. Is right now the 3-1 teams or 4-0 teams are the Rams, the Cardinals, the Panthers, the Bucks, the Packers, and the Cowboys. Now, some of these 2-2 teams could turn it on in the last 3 quarters of the season because we're about a fourth of the way through the season. But the Bears are 2-2. I don't think it'll be them. Washington, those don't scare me. They're a -21 sitting at 2-2. The Bears are a -27 sitting at 2-2. The Saints could be one of those teams. If Jameis Winston gets his shit together, the defense is playing outstanding. If they continue to play well, if that offense can just become consistent, you don't need Jameis Winston to be great, but if they could become consistent, I can see the Saints being one of those 2-2 teams that kind of turns it around and becomes a playoff contender Seattle and San Francisco, the two others, that whole division, the whole NFC West. So that's the upper echelon of the NFC, right? You've got the 3-1, 4-0 teams, Cowboys, Packers, Bucks, Panthers, Cardinals, and Rams. And then the 2-2 teams, one or two of those might make some waves. One or two of these 3-1 teams might fall off. Here's why I don't think it'll be the Cowboys, because their offense is so good and so potent. Unless Dak gets hurt. I'm not even worried about Zeke because Pollard has proven himself enough and vice versa. Dak is the key to this whole thing for the Cowboys. If they can remain healthy and get any semblance of a pass rush and some help in the secondary or good play in the secondary, because teams are going to throw against them being behind a lot. They're one of the 3-1 teams I think have a shot because they play in a weak Division I. KD said also they do have a favorable schedule. I haven't looked at it yet, but right now they just look like one of the better teams in the NFC, which gives you hope that they could make a Super Bowl. I don't think they're Super Bowl caliber. I think right now that's the Bucks, and believe it or not, the Cardinals look really good. Cardinals scoring 140 game, giving up 85. The wheels might fall off on the Cardinals. That's the scary thing. I could totally see the Cardinals going 500 the second half of the season, 100%. Let's look at their schedule. Cardinals' schedule gets tough. You got Niners, Browns, and then a layup with the Texans, Packers, Niners. That is not an easy next 5 games for the Cardinals. So just as much as they started 4-0, we know they're going to beat the Texans, but they could literally split those games with the Niners and split the games with the Browns and the Packers. And then you got Panthers, Seahawks, Bears, Rams, and then Lions, Colts, Cowboys, Seahawks. That's a difficult schedule for the Arizona Cardinals. So I could legitimately see them going 500 in the second half of the season. Cowboys, on the other hand, their schedule looks like the following. They got the Giants, Patriots, Vikings, Broncos, Falcons, Chiefs, Raiders, Saints, Washington football team, Giants, Washington again, and then the Cardinals and Eagles. So there's some doozies in there, but there's a lot of winnable games for a really good Cowboys team. You look at the Packers, we obviously know the division they play in, but they've got the Bengals, the Bears, Washington, Arizona, the Chiefs, Seahawks, Vikings, Rams, Bears, Ravens, Browns, Vikings, Lions. That's a pretty difficult schedule down the stretch for the Packers as well. And then we looked at the Cardinals already. The Bucks, I mean, you can almost just, it's Tom. What are you going to do? They lost to the Rams, but they got Dolphins, Eagles, Bears, Saints, Washington, the Giants, Colts, Falcons, Bills, Saints again, Panthers, Jets, Panthers. It's a pretty easy schedule for a really good football team. I think still the Bucks are the cream of the crop in the NFC. But I think that next tier down, I think the Bucks are still your favorite to go back to the Super Bowl. But I think the Cardinals and the Cowboys and the Rams looking really good right now. And that's your next tier. So could they upset the Bucks? Any of those 3 teams? Absolutely. Does that make them contenders for the Super Bowl? I think so, if you look at it this way. We'll see. I could be wrong. But Cowboy fan, you got to be excited. You got to be excited about this football team. They are a plus 29, which is 3rd best in the NFC. Right now, the Cardinals are a plus 55. The Panthers are a plus 31. And just behind them at a plus 29 is the Cowboys. And then by plus minus, I mean points scored versus points allowed. To put that in perspective, the Texans are a minus 49. The only team worse is the Falcons at minus 50. And the Texans absolutely blew out the Jags. But because of that 40-point blowout by the Bills, their plus minus got skewed pretty heavily, pretty quickly. And probably more accurately reflects what this team is. Walt said the Bucks are not a good team right now. Been saying that since week 1. I mean, they beat the Cowboys, and we're talking about how good the Cowboys are. Beat the Falcons, that's a shitty football team. Lost to the Rams, that's a good football team. And beat the Patriots barely on the road in Foxborough in bad weather? Well, we're going to find out, but we probably won't really find out what this team really is until they play the Bills on December 12th. The Dolphins aren't a test. The Eagles really aren't a test. The Bears aren't a test. The Saints aren't a test. Sorry, Saints fan. Washington and New York Giants and the Colts and the Falcons, like their real test is what's this football team really made of, again, is the Bills. And if they lose that, then they've lost to the Bills and the Rams at least, and they're losing to the better teams in football. So maybe you're right, Walt. I think the Bucs defense will figure it out. I really do. But I think if you're a Cowboys fan, bringing it back to the Cowboys, you got to be excited. Got to be excited. One quick note from the NFL as far as the Washington football team goes. Their facilities were raided by the feds. And it had nothing to do with the team itself. It was their trainer, one of the team trainers. Let me pull up his name. Not that you guys give a shit, but it's whatever. I'm here and don't really give a fuck today. Ryan Vermillion, who was a trainer in Carolina who followed Ron Rivera from Carolina to Washington. So the feds raided the facility, but it was because of him. He was placed on administrative leave due to an ongoing criminal investigation that is unrelated to the team. That is a quote from the Washington football team. So the facilities were, in fact, raided by the feds, but it absolutely had nothing to do with the team, so they say. Just the fact that he worked it. It'd be like one of you raggedy bitches selling weed or drugs, and then they go and they raid the Whataburger or whatever where you work, and then Whataburger's like, we ain't dealing dope. Hey, AR Platinum, thank you for the super chat, buddy. AR Platinum sent in a thing, said, unless they've done it, they'll never know the amount of work that goes into being a true one-man show. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. Thank you for the support. I appreciate it. Sean said, I'll take the Bears. Good luck, buddy. You just rock with your Bears. Yeah, Sean said, I hate that the Packers look good again. Yeah. Yeah. Tyler said the Bucs are going down this week. Who do they play this week? Let's see. Who are they playing? What is this? Get this off my goddamn screen. Oh, cool. I got my water bill. Let's see how much this is. My water bill for last month was $500. $530? $329. That's great. Let's see. Who did the Bucs play this week? Schedule. Give me the goddamn schedule. Bucs are. Well, that was week 4. God damn it, I need week 5. Let's see here. At home against Miami. They're not losing this week. I hate to be the one to break that to you. Terrence said, do you have a pool? No. I do not have a pool. Mark said he had a guy at Whataburger try to sell him weed through the drive-thru. Okay. Let me know when you get to the bad part. So week 4, other things that stood out. I mean, you had the Bucs Patriots game that went off Sunday night. A little underwhelming. I mean, I thought it was neat. They didn't really celebrate Tom's passing Drew Brees for the passing yards record holder. The second highest rated Sunday night football game of all time, if that matters to you. And it was okay. A bit of a letdown. Patriots had a chance to win that game at the end and did not. Mac Jones acquitted himself very well, I believe. Tyler said they should have stopped the game. For the rain, you mean? Nah. It's football, baby. Got to play through it. Got to play through it. That is football, you know. I mean, what you going to do? Jones goes 31 of 40 for 275 yards, 2 touchdowns, and an interception with a QBR of 46. But if you watched the game, he handled himself well. It didn't look like the moment was too big for him. And there was a lot of pressure. You think about that. You're on this dynasty of a football team, or what was considered a dynasty while he was there. And the guy that made the New England Patriots what they are and were is on the other side. And now they're looking at you and comparing you to him while he's there. They're wearing his jersey and not yours, and he's not even on the team anymore. That is a ton of pressure. That's got to be some hurt feelings. That's got to be all that. Because you know no one was showing up to that game in a Mac Jones jersey. Everyone was going to wear their Brady jerseys. But I thought Brady was 22 of 43 for 269 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions, and a 55 QBR. I mean, Mac Jones at least threw for 2 touchdowns. He did have the interception, but it wasn't like statistically Brady stood head and shoulders above Mac Jones in that game, but it was also a sloppy track. It was also bad weather. But both teams, it wasn't like an exciting game, but I think it was an interesting game. The crazy stat of the night to me, though, was New England rushed for -1 yards. All of their offense literally came from Mac Jones and the passing attack. All of it. I mean, Tampa rushed for 119, threw for 270. And in that kind of weather, okay. So that was the Sunday night game. Last night's game was kind of weird. A weather delay in a dome stadium. People are like, how's that possible? Well, this guy tweeted, this Daniel Popper, whatever. Daniel Popper tweeted out, and he said, since people are firing off bits at a truly breathtaking rate, SoFi Stadium has a roof, but the sides are open. See the yellow circle. There is lightning in the area, hence the danger. So they were, yeah, and Brian said it's not a dome, it's open-ended. Yeah, okay. But I think people are like, you have a stadium with a roof, why is there a weather delay? Well, now you know. Because they ran out of money and didn't put a fucking wall on one side. It's kind of like Jerry and the hole in the old Cowboy Stadium. They just ran out of money and didn't finish the roof. I mean, it's not a terrible idea. You're in LA. Ben says, that's kind of cool. I think, though, and I don't think they expect, weather like that in LA very often. But shit happens. Now, the crazy thing was, Joe Pro said, man, if you get hit by lightning inside, you are one unlucky motherfucker. Yes, you are, Joe Pro. I put the wrong thing up. The crazy thing was, if you watched the game last night, it was just as many Raiders fans there as there were Chargers fans, maybe more Raiders fans. And that's to be expected, too. The Raiders spent a long time in L.A. Long time. So, obviously, those guys, it's like here, when Tennessee comes to town, you got a-holes like Titan Hugo who still are Titans fans. And, just kidding, Titan Hugo. I love you, buddy. You know that. But yeah, you're going to have, what the hell's on my nose? You're going to have leftover fans. Kind of sucks, but good thing you don't, have to play them every week. But yeah, it was weird. Both teams were struggling with snap counts. It was like split down the middle. It was almost like a college football national championship in a neutral site. Tracy said Texas Stadium was to be the first retractable roof, but the mechanics kept failing, so it was left with the hole. And that was way before Jerry. I thought they ran out of money. That's what I thought. Why is there a hole in Texas Stadium? We're going to get to the bottom of this because Wikipedia will tell us. Oh, you're right, Tracy. Opened in October 1971, it was known for its distinctive hole in the roof. The result of an abandoned plan to construct a retractable roof. Cowboys linebacker D.D. Lewis once famously said that Texas has a hole in the roof so God can watch his favorite team play. Huh. I had always been told it was because they ran out of money. Yeah, that's what I had always heard. I always heard it was because they ran out of money. All right, let's do this. I gotta go pee. So we got this done. Close that. When we come back, I've got a video of Urban Meyer putting his finger up a woman's skirt. I don't know where it went. I don't know what happened. It was maybe his whole hand, not his finger. I don't even know if he did that. That's the rumor. Maybe that was inappropriate. Also, we'll go over the baseball playoffs. I had headlines for you. No one gives a shit anymore. Real quick, this was funny. So last night, Monday Night Football game, we didn't get to watch Eli and Peyton do their thing because ESPN, for whatever reason, didn't schedule them. Now, I will say this. I was listening to the game last night while I was working, and I got to admit, Steve Levy did a pretty good job calling the game. If you really listen to him, I kind of liked it, his play-by-play, to be honest with you. It was pretty good. But I still would rather do the Eli Peyton thing. So last night, Eli tweets this out. Is it weird that Peyton and I are just talking on the phone watching the game tonight? I assume he's still sweating a lot. That's so funny. Eli Manning is a national treasure. Both of them. The Manning boys. Cooper, not so much. The Manning boys are national treasures. And it's great. I'm here for every bit of it. Donna said they're scheduled to be off for 3 games. That sucks. That really sucks. Total Dallas said, newsflash, I didn't win the Powerball. I'll be going to work all week. Nora was so mad because she forgot to buy lotto tickets. And I'm like, babe, we're not going to win. Why are you even wasting the money on it? She's like, I want to win the lotto. I'm like, well, fuck, we all want to win the lotto. We're not going to, though. Do you understand? You have better odds of getting struck by lightning in SoFi Stadium than you do of winning the lotto. We're not going to win the lotto. And if we won the lotto, you know what I would do? I would just I would just hire a producer for this show. That way, when there was fucking tech problems and mic problems, I could just scream at them and everything would be great. And it wouldn't ruin my mood. Ray said you should be more supportive. Ray, she's been trying to win the lotto since she was old enough to buy lotto tickets. You know this. And we've never come close. We don't even get like, oh, I won 1,000. It's like, cool, I got 3 numbers. Here's $1. But yet they buy. Okay, let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into MLB playoffs, talk a little college football, look at the AP poll, and I'll show you this video of Urban Meyer being an absolute lunatic and a creep and being a dirty, rotten scoundrel behind his wife's back. All that and more right after this. This is Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. See you in a second. Hey, welcome back to hour number 2 of Barry on Deck. I'm your host, Barry Laminack. Thank you guys for sticking around through the break. Those of you that did, this wasn't that many. Hour 2, we roll on. We got not all of the NFL. I mean, usually I try to go through week by week. But I don't think anybody gives a shit on a Tuesday about doing that anymore. AP poll is out. That's a thing. Let's pull that up. Hold on. And here we go. Your AP poll looks like this. No move from the top 2. Bama and Georgia stay 1-2 and undefeated. I will say, I think Georgia may have gained a few first place votes compared to last week. Let's see. Let's go to week 4. They had 3 votes. Yeah, so let's see. Week 2, it was Bama with 59, Georgia with 4. Preseason going in, Georgia sat at 5. Look at A&M. Those suckers. Georgia had 3 votes in week 3. 3 votes in week 4. 4 votes in week 5, and then moved up to 9 votes. So, making some moves. So you got Bama and Georgia 1 and 2. And if you're not really paying attention, you're probably like, what the hell? Iowa? Iowa's playing some good football right now. I see you, D-Mata. Thank you, buddy. Yeah, Iowa playing some pretty good football right now. Moved up to number 3 in the polls. Penn State sits at number 4. A lot of surprising names in the top 5 this year. Specifically 3, 4, and 5. I don't think a lot of people would have. I think we all knew Cincinnati was going to be good. You heard it. They talked about it. Surprisingly good, though. Like, really good. Oklahoma. And so Cincinnati moved up 2 spots to number 5. Iowa moved up 2 spots to number 3 because Oregon lost. But Oklahoma at 6, Ohio State 7, Oregon 8, Michigan 9, moved up 5 spots. BYU at 10, moving up 3 spots. Michigan State moved up 6, Oklahoma State moved up 7. So really only 2 teams with 1 loss still in the top 10, and that would be Ohio State and Oregon. Arkansas falls 5 spots to number 13. So all that work they did gone because they got absolutely, well, I don't know. I wouldn't say embarrassed. What was the, yeah, I guess it was embarrassed. 37 to nothing. I thought I was confusing my teams here. So all the work they did, but I guess Georgia shellacking them would also account for the increase in votes. Notre Dame fell down 5 spots. Coastal Carolina up 1. Kentucky didn't move. Ole Miss fell 5. Get your popcorn. We'll talk about that in a second. Auburn, Wake Forest, Florida, Texas, Arizona State, NC State, SMU, San Diego State rounds out your top 25. Total Dallas said Michigan is wasting our time. I couldn't agree more. Although they look to be playing pretty good football, they still have to play Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. They're losing at least 1, if not 2 of those games. Sean said Iowa hasn't played OSU yet. I'm not sure that it's going to matter, Sean. They're playing Penn State next week. That's going to be a significant test, obviously. But that's it. I mean, Wisconsin might give them a little trouble. They've already played their rivalry game. Played that in week 2. If they, depending on what happens, I'm telling you what, man, if Iowa beats Penn State this week, watch out. Watch out. Could have Iowa in the playoffs. How fun would that be? I think people outside of the Big Ten don't give a shit. But yeah. So pretty top heavy from 2 conferences, right? You got the Big Ten and the SEC. You got Cincinnati showing them boys how to do it. Feel bad for Oregon. Really wanted to see them do well. Lost to Stanford 31-24. Oregon was playing well. Total Dallas said Iowa will not beat Penn State. Okay. This is why they play the games, I guess. So there you go. I had to take a gander, take a look-see. Still got 41 votes to be in the top 25. Ridiculous. This team is ass. And this team is going to lose by 30 to Bama. Alabama is just so good right now. But so is Georgia. I thought Oregon was going to be a contender too, P. Jones. Boy, they looked the part. Defensively, which is a surprise for a Pac-12 team, but offensively, run the ball, throw the ball around the yard. Man. Not today, said Satan. So, there is your top 25. If you watched college sports over the weekend, then you know that Lane Kiffin said to get your popcorn. In his pregame interview, he's talking and he says, "Hey, we're gonna go get your popcorn. Go get your popcorn." And then they came out and got absolutely shellacked. Down 28-0 at the half. It couldn't have been less of a popcorn game. Popcorn implies it's going to be interesting. This game was not interesting at all. Unless you're a Bama fan, then I guess it was great. Bryce Young has a serviceable game. It's the rushing attack that Bama couldn't stop. That's just 210 yards. Robinson looked great. Ole Miss really couldn't do anything against that Alabama defense. No popcorn needed. Lane, idiot. And the funny thing is, after he said that, he's on TV and they're like, "Wow, coach, what can we expect?" And he goes, "Get your popcorn ready." And then he goes to his offensive coordinator and says, "You better put points on the board because I just told everybody to get their popcorn ready. Like, this is going to be a good game." So what do? They get shut out in the first half. Man, I'm telling you right now. There's one team I'm not going to come out and talk shit about to the press in the public eye. That's Bama. I'm not going to say if you're playing Mississippi State, Lane, say get your popcorn ready. Don't do that against Alabama because you know you're probably going to get embarrassed anyway. And they didn't even hear it. This isn't like this was bulletin board material. It's not like Sean said the popcorn wasn't even done yet and they were already down 21-0. It's not like he said this the week prior and Bama was like, "Oh, okay, bitch. Okay. Let's put get your popcorn ready on the fucking wall in the locker room." And everybody's slapping on the way out. "Get your popcorn ready. Get your popcorn ready." No. This was during pregame. Nobody heard it except the whole world. So he says it, and then he goes out, and they lose 42-21 after getting whooped in the first half. Pretty bad. And that was a highly ranked, highly respected Ole Miss team. But the fact of the matter is, Lane Kiffin said it before, Nick Saban is his daddy. Period. End of story. Nick Saban is everybody's daddy. And D-Mata had a question. He said, I have a serious question. Why is Alabama so good year after year? Is it because of Nick Saban? Yes. It's because Nick Saban can recruit and gets the best players in the country. It's because they're so deep. Because he gets the best. He convinces the best players in the country to go to Alabama and sit and not play for a year or two so that when they are ready to play, when the best players in the country that are currently playing go on to the NFL and comprise the majority of teams, then the other good guys that he recruited that have been sitting, not playing much, it's now their turn. It's unheard of. It's unprecedented what Nick Saban is doing at Bama. It's crazy. He just goes out and he convinces all of these great players to come and get screamed at and be great. Year after year. What you going to do? That's how it goes. That is how it goes. And it's not like it's a prestigious university. You know what I mean? It's not like it doesn't carry the same clout as, say, like a Notre Dame or, I don't know. It's Nick Saban, man. It's Nick Saban. He's able to go in. I mean, people respect him. They believe in him. He's able to apparently go into these kids' living rooms and talk to them and their parents and convince them that the absolute best thing they could do is go to Alabama and get screamed at by Nick Saban and become great football players. That's it. That is it. So there you go. That was your college football. Get your popcorn. That didn't work out well. Speaking of college football coaches, now a pro coach, Urban Meyer, didn't really stay home and sulk after the loss. Urban Meyer's Jacksonville Jaguars are 0-4 in the NFL right now, and things could not be going worse for him. And he lost that locker room before the season started. And then things have gotten worse here, and last second loss was pretty tough. And did that keep Urban Meyer down? Nay, I say. He went to his restaurant and put his hand up a girl's butt. Check this out. Yeah, you can't really see it. I mean, we don't know what his hand is doing. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's blocking his boner. That's a possibility, right? Maybe his hand isn't touching anything on her. Maybe it's just there because he's got an erection and doesn't want her to know, because that would be creepy. We don't know what he's doing with his hand. We don't know why that's there. I think we can just evaluate this film on its merits. There's a young lady grinding on, I was going to say his leg, but I think she actually might be grinding on his hand. I think that, also, what's in his back pocket? Is that his phone? That is weird. Now, some people on the internet, some people said this isn't Urban Meyer. They're like, this isn't Urban Meyer. That's not him. I mean, kind of looks like him. And if you're Urban Meyer's wife, you got to be watching this video and thinking, what the fuck are we doing? What are you doing? You're not even a star athlete. You're just a regular ass 0-4 NFL coach. And you're out here finger banging some chick at our bar. Our bar. That's right, Urban. You're married. It's hers too. Surprise. That's how marriage works. But Urban's out here disrespecting his wife, his family, by letting this nice young lady, I'm sure she's a fine woman, by letting her just grind up on his hand and his leg. And then again, we don't know what's happening here with I assume she's wearing a skirt or those jeans. I don't know. Let's see. Can we tell? Well, those are jeans. So maybe he's just outside. Maybe this is just dry humping. This is just good old-fashioned dry humping. I thought maybe that was a skirt. Those are just jeggings, leggings, whatever. It's just a good old-fashioned dry hump. No harm, no foul, right? And you guys are hung up on the wrong thing. I love that you guys like, who's recording this? You all would record this. I guarantee you. Don't get in this chat and start acting all holier than thou. Every one of you, to a person, if you were at a bar or at a club and Bill O'Brien was at the bar sitting on a bar stool while some young lady grinded on his hand and his thigh, the very first thing you do is pull out your phone and record it and then post it because you wanted to go viral. Fact. So don't start getting judgy now. Because you would all do it. The crazy thing is you just, if you're a public figure, like Urban Meyer is. Why do you think that you could get away with this in public? Why do you think that no one's going to notice? Like, you're famous at some level or some degree. You don't think somebody's not going to be like, look. Bro, is that Herb Dog? That's Herb Dog. Who is that? His wife? That's not his wife. Is that his daughter? I don't think that's his daughter. It might be his. I hope that's not his daughter. He's got his hand up her hoo-hoo. I think that's just him being a creepy old man, letting some chick grind on his fist. Where's my phone? Like, that's how that goes down. That's exactly how that goes down. And I don't. It's like this. Guys like this have been doing this for a while. There's just cell phones now. Oh, and Joel said he had to be frunk. Look, it's not an excuse, and I don't think you're making an excuse, and you're probably right. He's probably 3 sheets to the wind, frunk off his mind. Oh, Donna said there's another video at a different angle. Oh, link me, Donna. Link me. Matt said not everybody is a busybody. Oh, come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. Come on, buddy. Don't give me that, Matt. Matt, you know goddamn well you're sitting at a bar. Nick Saban Nick would never do that. Nick's going to be watching film. Nick's not leaving the office. The reason why Nick's wife might leave him is because he never comes home, because he's always working. But this dude has been doing this. Dudes have been doing this. They're just now getting caught because cell phones exist. It's kind of like, and I'm not trying to get political here, but it's kind of like police brutality. This shit has been going on for decades. There just weren't, not everybody had a camera in their pocket. But now they do. All these Karens, this shit has been going on for decades. White women have been losing their shit and asking for managers for fucking ever. But now there's cameras. And the whole world's finding out that it goes on. And this is no different. Dudes like Urban Meyer, who have money and clout and fame and status, have been doing shit like this behind their wives' back for years. And they're just now getting caught. Because cameras. Oh, Mark. Mark said if that was Matt Nagy, I would for sure record it and post it because I would hope he would get his ass fired. Well, Shad Khan came out and did say Urban Meyer has got to win the respect of his locker room again because of this. Okay. In fact, let me get you the quote because I think that's the most ridiculous statement I've ever heard. Let me read this to you. Jags owner Shad Khan issued a public reprimand of coach Urban Meyer for Meyer's behavior over the weekend. I have addressed this matter with Urban. Specifics of our conversation will be held in confidence, Khan said in a statement. By the way, people love Shad Khan. They say he's an amazing person and owner and all that. What I will say is his conduct last weekend was inexcusable. I appreciate Urban's remorse, which I believe is sincere. Now he must regain our trust and respect. That will require a personal commitment from Urban to everyone who supports, represents, or plays for our team. I am confident he will deliver. Meyer said, I just apologize to the team and staff for being a distraction. Just stupid. And so I explained everything that happened and owned it. Just stupid. Should have not put myself in that kind of position. Let me explain something to you. Urban Meyer doesn't need to apologize to a locker room full of football players for letting some cute blonde grind on his dick at a bar. You think that distracted a bunch of fucking football players, Shad? I got news for you, folks. NFL football players didn't see this video and go, "Oh my God! Is that a beautiful blonde with big titties and a nice ass grinding on his pecker? Oh, be damned, I can't survive this. This is just too much. I can't play. I'm so distracted." Urban Meyer didn't lose the locker room because of this video. Urban Meyer lost that locker room because he's a shitty head coach for the NFL. And no one in that locker room respected him going into the season because of how he did things, because of how bad he is as a coach, because how he doesn't grasp or understand the systems in the NFL. Because how he's trying to do college coaching at a professional NFL level. That's why he lost the... You think having some chick grind on his digits for 5 minutes? Like, oh, well, I'll never respect this guy. Are you fucking kidding me? These guys were out doing way worse this exact same night than Urban Meyer. There was coochie popping all over the place. I guarantee you. It's fucking stupid. I'm going to sit there and tell me that, oh, well, I was a distraction. You were a distraction for your marriage, Urban. You need to go home and apologize to your wife and to your family, your kids. Those dudes in that locker room don't give a shit. There might be like 5 of them that are like good Christian boys. They're like, well, that wasn't okay. But you know what? The Lord forgives. So do I. It's just ridiculous. He needs to regain our trust and respect. Has nothing to do with the video. They don't trust and respect him because he's not a good NFL football coach. And they see that. That's the problem. Charles said that's how they say hi in Ohio. Oh, hi. Oh, don't you know, Urban? I just wanted to say that was a good game, yeah? Oh, yeah. Go Browns. Oh, Buckeyes. Oh, Urban, I wasn't expecting all the ring finger. Matt said any player that still respected him lost it all when Tebow was brought in. See, that's a great point, Matt. Those are the reasons that they don't respect him. But again, Jen said ain't nobody in Ohio sounding like that. That's Midwest, right, Jen? Oh, yeah. Back it up, don't you know? Oh, okay. We like, get you some Skyline chili, yeah? I almost threw in a Da Bears just for good measure. Da Bears. Just to piss you off, Jen. Well, I'll tell you the negative media attention is what had to apologize for the owner. Look. Okay. I will concede the point, Walt. But I think that is just as simple as, hey, guys, sorry, I was just out getting some strange, and you know how people get nosy. My bad. Everybody's like, cool, fam, you still suck as a coach. No, I know, I get it. But we're all good with the little viral video. Honey was banging though, wasn't she? Okay. All right. That's what goes on in a locker room. It's not like these guys were just like, oh man, I can't even fucking learn the playbook because Herb Dog's out here fucking grinding hose at his bar. Oh, I just can't do it. These dudes are out getting their own distractions. He had to apologize because it was the formality of it. The absurdity of it is saying that they have to he has to re-earn their trust and respect because of it. That's the part of this that I think is the absurd part. He doesn't have their trust and respect, but it's not because Herb Dog's out here getting grinded it on. It's because he's a shitty coach. And you ain't going to regain that respect. So this whole statement just seems bad. I talked to Urban. He feels bad for being a distraction in the locker room. We're moving on. He's got to regain our trust. He'll never regain the trust and respect because he never had it. Total Dallas said he probably has a never leave wife. I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Mark said that's Minnesota and Wisconsin. Let me explain something to you, Mark. Jen. All you Midwestern weirdos. Let me explain something to you. 0% chance he's ever been called Herb Dog. No, that's what I call him now. After this, bro, after you get a honey to grind on you like that, you're Herb Dog from now on. Also, she needs to pull her pants down. Her belt is up under her armpits. After that happens, you're Herb Dog. Also, don't shake his hand. Filthy. CC said, my question is, when does he start at USC? As soon as he can. As soon as he can. Total Dallas said he probably has a never leave wife. My thing is, look, I'm not going to judge. I mean, I do judge. I'll be honest. If I was a chick married to a rich athlete or coach or whatever, would I put up with it? I don't know. The only way I'd put up with it is if I was out fucking around too. That's just me. If Nora was like if Nora was like Dr. Oz, right? She's a famous nurse doctor thing. And she's out she goes to, I don't know, a nurse convention and she's just got some wonderfully handsome doctor just grinding on her hips all night. I'd be like, well, I'm going out and getting grinded on too. Mama's got that gravy train. I'm not blowing that. But, so there are people like that. I mean, truth be told, and to be dead on ass honest with you, yeah, I wouldn't put up with that. If I'm the wife, I'm gone. If I'm a dude and that's my wife because she's famous and rich, I'm gone. My self-worth and my dignity mean way more to me than your paycheck. And I'm going to get half anyways at this point. But what about all the years invested in your marriage? Do you understand Nora and I have been together since 1998? If this video surfaced of my wife, and some dude, if this was like, no, fam. And she's not even worth what Urban Meyer is. And I promise you, if the script was flipped, trust me when I tell you, Nora sees this video, me, some little hoochie mama with a belt pulled up too high on her waist, grinding on me, she gone. But that doesn't mean that everybody thinks like that. So maybe she is one of those never leave wives. And there are women out there that are like, fuck it. I'm comfy. I'm good. That's what I'm saying, Jen. You're not going to embarrass me. And you're not going to betray my trust. Now, look, I've gone to strip clubs. The crazy thing is I would ask my wife, hey, babe, I'd be on the road. Babe, the guys want to go to the strip club. We're in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. Guys want to go to the strip club. Are you good with that? If not, I'll tell them to go without me. She'd be like, no, go. Because we do have a level of trust in our relationship. And we're also not jealous people. But if I was at a bar discreetly getting grinded it on by some trollop, her words, not mine, that's totally different. Like, that's just, I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. I wouldn't expect her to put up with that shit, especially if I was a public figure at this level. I mean, I know I'm a public figure, you know. I mean, somebody did go into the UPS store and be like, is that Barry? Oh, it's totally him. His mic never works, and it ruins the show and the viewer numbers. Where are we at right now? Told you. Fuck. Yeah, that's the thing. Awake Reaper said she might have a side piece. Yeah. Yeah. She very well could. Mark said, I like Nora more now. Great use of trollop. I mean, I kind of made that up for her, but sure, that's what it takes. Barry's out here expanding my vocabulary. Really? You guys, did y'all Google trollop? Did everybody go Google trollop real quick? Happy to help, folks. That's what I'm here for. 'Tis what I'm here for. Okay, so we got the legend of Herb Dog. I wanted to get to a little bit. What time is it? 3:45. Grinding it out, running out the clock. What a whirlwind of a day. Boy, I was in a good mood. Man, I couldn't have been in a better mood to start this fucking show. And then tragedy. Tragedy. Let's move this over here. There we go. We'll center that up for this. Why don't you what? Oh. So here's your postseason bracket. I don't know who you guys got. Who you got? What's your World Series look like? I'll give you my 10-minute assessment of this playoff bracket. Start in the National League. Cardinals probably the hottest team going into the playoffs right now. Had that 17-game win streak. They're a juggernaut. Don't sleep on the Cardinals. However, Dodgers trying to fade a bunch of injuries. Max Muncy is doubtful. I don't even know. Maybe today they've announced he's not. Kershaw also injured. May not be ready to go if they make it to the divisional round. This is not a foregone conclusion now that these Dodgers beat these Cardinals. But I believe that Dodgers team is superior in every way to the St. Louis Cardinals, even with the injuries that they have. So I'm going to go ahead and advance LA past the wild card round. And they will be facing the Giants. And that's going to be a very interesting series. Over on the other side, Brewers Braves. That Brewers pitching staff is phenomenal. And pitching in October going to take you far. I think the Braves could really use Ronald Acuna Jr. Braves started poorly this year. And my concern about the Braves is they could regress back to that at any moment. Especially when you get a really good pitching staff that can silence those bats. So I'm going to go ahead and advance the Brewers to the NLCS. And then you got Giants, Dodgers. This is a tough one, but I think the Dodgers being banged up scares me. Now, originally, before some of these injuries, I said Tampa, LA was going to be the World Series. And I really want to stick with that. I am legitimately concerned, though, about the Dodgers' health. Even though that is still a potent lineup. But the Giants just didn't fade. The Giants don't overwhelm you in one particular category. They're just good across the board in all of them. if that makes any sense. Like the Yankees will overwhelm you with power, right? But they swing and miss a lot. And but the Giants really have no holes in their game, in their team. So I am advancing the Giants over the Dodgers. So my NLCS is Giants Brewers. And at the end of the day, the Giants have the pitching, the hitting, the consistency to get the job done. So they have been the best team in the National League all year. And had the Dodgers been healthy, I would have put the Dodgers in the World Series again. But that is a concern of mine. But I think the Brewers put up a fight. I do. I believe the Brewers put up a fight. But I'm going to advance the Giants to the World Series in the National League. Over in the American League, Boston Yankees wild card playing game is going to be a good one. No JD Martinez for the Red Sox. That's a problem. Yankees just Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge are really hot going into the playoffs, but that's literally all they have. Ooh, look at that bump. That's disgusting. Yankees are hot, but they're very one-dimensional. If you pitch around Stanton and you pitch around Aaron Judge and you can do so selectively and figure it out, I think you can beat the Yankees. They are susceptible. But I'm going to go ahead and advance them just because they got hot at the right time of the year. So I think Yankees, I'll take Yankees over the Red Sox to play the Rays. I think this opening round matchup for the Astros is a good one for them. This is a favorable matchup. They're really lucky that they got the White Sox as their first draw in the ALDS. The White Sox team is good. They've had their moments. But they can't go blow for blow with this Astros team. That lineup is too good. The Astros kind of remind me of the Chiefs in a lot of ways. You just got to outscore them. And when their bats are hot. The problem with the Astros all year is they've been too inconsistent. They'll go on a stretch of really good winning baseball, and then they'll look bad for a while. And they've done that all year. So what you have to hope for, Astros fans, is that they're on a good stretch when they enter these playoffs. But I think that they're more than capable of beating the White Sox when you look at what the rotation probably shapes up to be. All of those guys had a great year against that White Sox lineup. It's a decent pitching staff over there, to be sure. It's a good, solid lineup, but it is in no way, shape, or form as good or as deep as the Astros. I love this opening round matchup for the Astros, and I think it ensures them a path back to the ALCS once again. So give me the Astros there. Tampa Yankees. Listen, Tampa Bay is really good. They do everything really good. They remind me of the Giants. They pitch well. They've got a great bullpen. They're managed well. They hit for average. They hit home runs. They are power heavy, though. Believe it or not. You probably don't realize that if you don't watch a lot of Rays or a lot of baseball. But the Rays rely significantly on home runs. Somebody was writing about it, and the stats bear that out. This is a home run heavy team. And if you can get a lot of swings and misses, or you can get them to put the ball in play on the ground, stand a pretty good chance of beating the Rays. I don't think this Yankees pitching staff can do that. I think this Rays pitching staff is more than adequate at being able to work around the middle of that Yankees lineup in a 5-game series in the ALDS. I like the Rays. They're built for that. They're built different. Yeah, and no one cares in Tampa how good that team is. So, I'm advancing the Tampa Bay Rays and the Houston Astros to the ALCS. Bad news, Astros fans. End of the line. We saw all year how good this Tampa team was when they played the Astros. They had their number. And if any team in baseball has had the Astros number the last couple of years, it has been the Tampa Bay Rays, and this year is no different. The Rays are disciplined enough at the plate they can put up numbers when necessary to match the offensive output of the Astros. And the Astros don't swing and miss a lot. They put the ball in play. But I think that the Rays are just... The problem with the Astros for me is this rotation. That's their glaring weakness right now. They're too inconsistent. So I think the series could go 7. That wouldn't surprise me one bit. I'm not saying this is a sweep by any stretch. The Astros will win some games. The Astros will put up a fight. But I think this goes 6 or 7. Give me the Rays. So my World Series was, before the playoffs started, Rays-Dodgers. Dodgers are injured. I don't think they get past the Giants. I think the Giants are the best team in the National League they have all year. So I think it's kind of chalk, but you tell me who's the better team in each division or each conference. What is it? Each league, American League, National League. I think it's Tampa and San Francisco. And I think that's your World Series. And I have to pick a winner. And that's tough because both of these teams are good. I've been back and forth on this for a myriad of reasons. I just feel like I feel like San Francisco is going to get better pitching. Starter pitching. Not opener pitching. They're going to get better. They have a better rotation. And I think that what they can do in quieting those bats, especially having gotten through LA and getting through Milwaukee. I'm gonna go San Francisco over Tampa. And I say it goes 6. So we'll see. Alex says 7 games. Yeah. Matt says I'll take the Giants. So who you got? What is your World Series? And ain't that the truth, Matt Poche? Now look, if that were to happen, if the Yankees were to upset the Rays or the Red Sox, if they win, were to upset the Rays, that is legitimate. That is a great statement. And that is 1,000% true. There's nobody in the American League that scares the Astros other than the Tampa Bay Rays. They'll play the Red Sox, White Sox, Yankees. They'll see them in the ALCS. No problem. But they don't want to face the Rays. So if something crazy happens, some significant injuries, or the Yankees just fall upon some luck, or the Red Sox do, or whatever, whoever ends up facing them and beats them and advances to the ALCS, that's a huge advantage, Astros. Then this whole thing gets flipped upside down, and I would take the Astros to make the World Series. If it is the Rays in the ALCS versus the Astros, advance the Rays. If it's not, advance the Astros. Matt said if the Astros made it to the World Series against the Giants, I'd still take the Giants. If the World Series was Giants, Astros. That's the one big difference, though, to me, though, Matt. Tampa will swing and miss a lot. The Astros aren't. And though that pitching is really good, the Astros are going to make those pitchers work. And I think, San Francisco is going to have to outscore the Astros. They're going to have to outslug the Astros, I should say. And we'll see. The one big advantage that I think the Giants are going to have is because they're a National League team. That's always skewed to me, by the way. That's always weird to me. I think they should just go designated hitter for the World Series. I don't know why baseball can't do that. Like, why do you put a team that's played all year with a DH at a disadvantage and make their pitchers hit? You basically take out a huge weapon in Yordan Alvarez or whoever it is on whatever American League team. It's ridiculous. The fact that they play National League rules in National League parks is a huge disadvantage to American League teams. Huge disadvantage. And it's only an advantage to a National League team to actually add a bat to the lineup that they're not used to having. That's ridiculous. Get it fixed, baseball. All right, so there you go. My World Series, Tampa, San Francisco in 6. That's it. Regulars, I'll take the Giants. 7 games either way. Astros should have won the World Series with the. What does this say? Astros should have won the series this year with the Giants, or they were in every game, right? Oh shit! I'd have to go back and look. No, get me started. Checking in, hit the like button. What up, peeps? Thank you, Tony. Good to see you, buddy. Thanks for being here. You didn't miss much today. It was a shit show on my part, but I appreciate you being here, nonetheless. All right, let's do this. Gotta prepare for Sports Rad. Hey, thanks for toughing it out with me. Appreciate y'all being here. Didn't do my reads. Shit happens. Tis what tis. Hopefully I see you tonight on Sports Riot. Hopefully that show goes better technically than it did here. Hopefully I'll see you Wednesday at the Improv. Either way. See you tomorrow, hopefully. And until then, do me 3 favors. Be safe. Kind. Most importantly, love each other. See y'all tomorrow. Making a YouTube video!